Welcome back to another edition of Family Chats where sports brings the family together. My name is Freddie Rivera. I'm the dad in this threesome here. Got my boy Giovanni Rivera here. Say what's up.
What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? What's up, everybody? Glad to be back after our first week of missing in almost 5 months.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
just for those that know and don't know, thank you for the prayers and the support. Last weekend we didn't come on. Unfortunately, my mom passed last week, and we were out obviously taking care of that. So we appreciate the support, the love, the cards, the emails, the texts. Thank you very much for all your prayers and support. But we're back and stepping in for Angel, and I'll say a little bit about Angel. Angel Garcet has signed with he has some good news. He went to New Jersey and he has signed with a professional baseball league, new one, and he's actually got drafted by a team in Puerto Rico. So he's actually playing and will start playing this week.
Wednesday, next Saturday.
No, I think it's Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday is his first game. So Angel Garcet, we love you, man. Go out there, play hard. We'll follow through. But it's a great opportunity for him to continue his pro ball career. A lot of scouts out there be watching him and just, we're excited about what's happening with him. So that's why he's not here. And we got a special guest, Daniel Zuniga, who is here live. He's playing soccer up in Pennsylvania. What college you play for, Daniel? Say what's up and tell them a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, everyone? Good to be here, part of Family Chats. Been watching for a while. Been a loyal fan. I play up at a school called Keystone College up in Northeast Pennsylvania. We're a really competitive Division III team, pushing good competition. Lost in the conference finals last season, tough loss, but life goes on, and just missed the national tournament by this far. But so it's good to be home. Good to be home for the summer and here on the show.
Good to have you, man. So Daniel is obviously a soccer expert, so we said let's bring him on. He's a fanatic of soccer and football. So if you guys are soccer and football fans, we'll go into that topic at the end of the show to go into the World Cup, which starts this week. Unfortunately, the USA didn't qualify this year, so we're probably not hearing a whole lot about
one of the worst things that could happen.
These guys, it's devastating that USA is not. Yeah, John, soccer. It's the world's most popular sport. So
football,
1.1 billion views on the final.
We're going to talk about it. Might be some fans out there. We'll talk about it. Well, let's get into the NBA. The NBA was a phenomenal year in the NBA. I must say I had tuned out for a long time. The NBA brought me a little bit back. Family Chats obviously brought me a little bit back to watching a little bit more NBA this year. It was very intriguing with Houston and Golden State. The competition that Houston brought to the table, obviously this year, winning the West Division. The East were LeBron and the Cavs, even though we all said all year that the Cavs would end up in the finals. It didn't always look like they would end up in the finals.
I did say that.
We did, and we talked about
prediction.
The
highs and the lows. Y'all still stuck with it.
It was unbelievable because the Cavs ended up in 4th place in the East and still made it to the finals. And it's just, to me, it just proves our point a lot of times that the East is really bad. It just, when you think about that they couldn't win a game against Golden State, and you had the number 7 seed San Antonio Spurs beat Golden State one time. You had the 6 seed Pelicans beat Golden State one time. So you had teams, Golden State lost in every series in the West, at least one time. And Houston would have taken them out if it was not for Paul getting hurt in not playing in game 6 and not being able to play in game 7. So Houston proved they were as good as advertised during the year, that it wasn't a fluke. They didn't come into the series with Golden State, afraid, and actually was up 3-2 and looking good because they had a home game left. So unfortunately, they didn't get the best of Houston because Paul was out in game 7. And Golden State proved why they're Golden State, because they've been there, they got the talent and the experience. So with that said, I think my prediction was a sweep Golden State, either 4 or 5, if I remember.
You said
It was 4
you
or
didn't even
5.
predict Cleveland to be in the finals. You said the Celtics were going to be.
Yeah, I did before it started. I mean, months,
Angels the only one.
months ago we talked about this was what's going to happen, but before the East started, I did think Celtics would beat the Cavs, and they did not. So, what was your prediction? Do you remember?
I thought
Cavs in
I
7?
thought the Cavs would be against the Rockets. I said the Rockets would win in 6. The Rockets obviously Chris Paul got hurt, so my prediction would have been right, but it got damaged. But
What was your prediction before the final? Did we even go into the prediction? We didn't, because the last show was before Game 7, so we didn't even have a prediction.
I predicted that the Warriors would win in 4. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I thought LeBron was going to pull it through. Game 1 was obviously the biggest game in the whole series.
It was his biggest game, too.
It swung the series.
Talk about it.
It swung the series so bad how just seemed like the team at the end of the game, coach doesn't call a timeout, J.R. Smith doesn't know the score, George Hill can't hit a free throw, and we're still going to blame LeBron at the end of the day for not winning a game when it seems like everybody but LeBron showed up to Game 1. The team was playing great, but the Warriors are going to be the Warriors, and you can't give them any extra time.
Even when they're not the Warriors, they're still the Warriors.
All right, so
Even
we're talking Game 1. So Game 1 happens. Cleveland obviously played great the whole game, enough to compete and even win at the end.
Yeah.
Had a chance to. They were down 1, had the ball left.
They fouled
George Hill.
Terrible by Klay
It
Thompson.
was a bad foul because put him on the line with like 5 seconds. How many seconds? 4 or 5 seconds, right around
5
there.
seconds.
Almost 5.
Had about 5 seconds left. Put Hill on the line for 2. He hits the first one, ties the game, and then the unthinkable happens. Right, Hill misses. People don't talk about the miss. They haven't talked about the miss, which is number one, probably the most important thing. If Hill doesn't miss that shot, it makes it, puts the pressure on the Warriors. Thank you, Debbie. 4.7 seconds left. And then, our boy J.R. Smith gets a great rebound. Nobody talks about the rebound. It's a great rebound.
Over Durant.
If he does not get the rebound over Durant, chances are Golden State calls a timeout, makes a play with 4 seconds left, and has a chance to win.
Oh no, they're
in
winning.
regular,
They're winning.
would have won
They would've
in
won.
regulation. So they say they would have won in regulation if J.R. Smith didn't get the rebound.
The
So
3.
he runs out.
Steph Curry would've-
He had a brain freeze, and he forgot.
Well, let's not forget that they had a timeout, and nobody but
Cleveland
LeBron,
had a timeout.
Nobody but LeBron tried to call timeout. But
Did LeBron try to call timeout?
Yes,
or was
you
it
can
way
see
too late?
It was too late.
Okay.
Obviously, Jared
Yeah, it was
was
too
on,
late.
like
a
on
second
he's
left?
Like, yeah.
Because he could have called that with the refs.
I don't blame Ty Lue for not really calling a timeout because they had the ball in such a good position with JR being right underneath the basket.
Yeah, it was a hard decision to make.
Could have got fouled again.
Could have got fouled again if he just tried to throw it up real quick. But
Yeah. He didn't think J.R. Smith
someone
was
has to
trying
call a
run the clock
timeout.
out.
Someone has to call a timeout right there.
Yeah, a lot of things went wrong. First, the Hill free throw miss. First thing to blame. The most important part of the conversation to blame is that. I think the second part of the blame game would be on the coach for not calling timeout. Not for J.R. Ryder running it out and forgetting.
Yeah.
That would be the third thing if you ask me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have blamed
And
J.R.
JR has
Smith,
gotten the most
and he's gotten the
slack.
most blame for what happened. Now, what frustrated me watching that, guys, and for anybody else, you tell me what you think, but we didn't see the video until the following days of LeBron's reaction on the bench. Obviously, you're going to have reactions. You're frustrated. I would have been frustrated too. I would have looked at J.R. Smith the same way he looked at him when the clock ran out. But once you got to the bench, you had to forget it. You had to let it go, and you had to be a leader and rally the troops up and say, let's go. We got 5 minutes in overtime. Let's put 5 minutes together. Let's win this game. Let's pull this game out. And that's not what happened. And unfortunately, that to me is the most disappointing part of what I saw on the bench from the leader of the team. What's your thoughts on how LeBron reacted on the bench?
I don't think there's. I don't know why we put him in this boat as if he's the coach. It's not his
You
job
said that.
to rally the troops.
No, it's not
That's
his
the
job.
coach's job.
Yeah,
It's
his
not LeBron's job to go to J.R. Smith and say, hey man, We're gonna get him. Like he's a player. At the end of the day, he's a player. The coach needs to step up and say, hey, like let's get up, and we have 5 more minutes and we gotta play. I didn't see the coach say anything. The coach looked just as dumbfounded as LeBron did.
Tyronn Lue saw.
Tyronn Lue, it's his last year in Cleveland anyway. It doesn't
last
matter.
year anyway. Nobody else is gonna take him.
It doesn't matter
If
where
they
he's
respond.
going. He's not coming, but he's not going to be the coach of Cleveland after this year.
Well, listen, you're right about the coach rallying them up, but LeBron's reaction spoke volumes.
Yeah.
Because
He
of
didn't say anything.
because of who he is. He's that important to that team. As LeBron goes, so does the team. So if LeBron thinks we screwed it up, this game's over, we have no chance in overtime, guess what? They have no chance in overtime. Because unless he goes on the court and says, hey guys, let me carry you for these next 5 minutes, just play well, play hard defense, let's go get them.
Yeah.
Then the team does it right. The team was distraught. LeBron was distraught, and he showed the whole team, it's over. I can't believe we let that go. Oh my goodness. Did we have a timeout? We did. Oh Lord, now he throwing the coach under the bus like, you should have called timeout. J.R. Smith, you're an idiot. You know, you should have known.
I don't think he said any of that.
Right, and he didn't, but the whole reaction said all of that to me. It just said, we're finished, the series is over, we had our chance, and the series wasn't over because they proved they could play with Golden State in that game. That couple seconds didn't determine the rest of the series. We look back at it and go, that messed the series up, but it really didn't. It should have showed the whole team, hey guys, we can compete with these Golden State Warriors. If we play well, we can compete.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron played 48 minutes at 51 points.
Kevin Love had over
19
21
of
points.
32.
That's all you can really ask of Kevin Love is get
I
20
mean,
points
he had
a game.
8 rebounds, 8 assists. It's like, I don't know what else he could have possibly done. And another big thing about the game is George Hill only shot 2 free throws in the whole entire game, and they were the last 2.
Yeah, and that's true. But you know, again, he made the first one, which you would think, right, gives you a little
That's
rhythm to make the last
the
one.
most pressured one.
Here's what Demi or Dr. Wall says. LeBron is the captain. He is the best player in the world right now. He is the one who needed to step up and say, come on, team, we got this. It's true.
Agreed.
Gotti Wolf, what's up, my man? Hope your trip's going well. Are the Warriors the new dynasty team? We'll talk about that in the
Warriors
little
been
bit.
a dynasty before this.
Demi, but LeBron knew that there was only one chance. Wait, but LeBron knew that their
on that too.
only chance that they were not going to win in overtime could be true. Kobe Bryant was able to win without Shaq. If LeBron's the best, why can't he?
Kobe Bryant lost by 36 to the Celtics in Game 6 in like 2000.
Yeah, we can talk about that
I
later
don't
too.
wanna get into that.
But
Kobe Bryant.
but let's go back. Wait,
Kobe
wait.
Bryant.
We'll go back later.
Kobe Bryant.
We don't need
Wait,
to go back.
wait.
We don't need to go back.
Kobe Bryant.
Let's say.
Let's go back to
Oh
this
my
game.
God.
Let's go back to game. Now, game 1 ends, right? Golden State wins it.
LeBron punches a whiteboard.
LeBron
Punches a whiteboard.
so-called says he
You
punches
see the
the
pictures? His
whiteboard.
hand is like, he like stung by 10 bees.
What was his stats in game 2, 3, and 4?
Game 2, he had.
Game 2, 3, and 4,
I
he
think
played
it's
pretty
when-
well.
Game 2, he had 29
29
points.
29 points.
13 assists, 9 rebounds.
How did he shoot? Which is
He
usually
shot 10 of 20.
Yeah, he shot 50%. I don't want to hear nothing about the hand. In game 2, he shot 50%. Right?
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is I don't want to
He's
hear.
stronger?
Here's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear nothing about the hand after you get swept. Either you talk about the hand after game 1 and you say, you let everybody know, hey, my hand's swollen, I got a brace, and everybody knows about it. But if you don't bring that up game 2, 3, and 4, and you're playing good ball, I don't want to hear it because it almost looks like a lame excuse at the end of the day.
Triple
Keep it
double
to
in
yourself.
game 3.
Triple double in game 3, and they could have won that game 3. That game 3, the team played well in
He
game
should have
3.
won that game.
Go look at game 3 stats. Curry had
Outscored
11
in the first
points.
2 quarters.
Thompson had 10 points. If you tell me going to Cleveland game 3 that Thompson and Curry doesn't score 25 points between them and they don't win that game,
Well, Durant scored 43. That's the thing about the Warriors is that
yeah, listen, Durant had a phenomenal game.
every player who started had over 10 points, which didn't happen at all for LeBron.
Go to Cleveland because Cleveland played well too. Go to Cleveland because Cleveland paid
LeBron
what?
had 33,
And who-
20 for Love,
20
8 for Thompson, 5 for Hill, 13 for Smith.
There you go. And
Bench
15
players,
from Hood.
Corver missed about every shot in the series.
15.
I would not be surprised if Corver had 0 points this whole entire series.
Yeah, he didn't play well, but
His threes were hitting the
here's
back.
another
If he was lucky.
here's
If he
another
was
turning
lucky.
point. I'm gonna go to you guys'
Hood
comments
did have
soon.
15 in that game.
Hood had 15 points in Game 3. Nobody saw Hood. Not even in the East Finals. He comes in
Hood is
Game
terrible.
3,
Let's
and
look at his Game
Hood
4 numbers.
played phenomenal. He just played
What's
great.
phenomenal for you?
For him, Hood played phenomenal because you ain't seen him. For a guy who you haven't seen all playoffs, come in and he actually looked. He looked the part. He didn't just luckily score 15 points.
In Game 4, he had 10 points on 4 of 14 shooting.
Right.
So I think that
How many?
He hit 4 of 14.
Well, how many points he scored?
10 points.
There you go. From
Damn,
a guy
what
that
goes? He
from
missed
a guy
10
that didn't
shots.
score or play.
He missed.
So he scored 25 points in the last 2 games.
Bro, he shot.
How much
4
did
of
Corver
14.
score? How much did J.R.
Corver
Smith
had 2
score?
points.
How about J.R. Smith?
10.
That proves
Shot
my
less
point
shots
right
than
there.
Hood, though.
All right, let me take some comments here.
This is ridiculous.
You guys tell me.
This is ridiculous.
The
George
person in
Hill-
Game 4 who didn't show up was
John
LeBron.
Merkle.
but-
George Hill was not a bad player until LeBron James became his teammate, allegedly. His stats were impressive, but what else is new? Merkley. Durant was insane, though. Demi and LeBron didn't want any part of Durant in Game 3. Another conversation
Yeah,
point.
because
Did
LeBron
LeBron,
can't
why
handle
didn't
Durant.
Why didn't LeBron D up Durant? If Durant had such a good game, why didn't LeBron step up and D him up? That's everybody's question here. Do you know what else is gone? God's D. All right, regarding, let's see what's happening. Julio.
It's easy. You don't want to give up a 3 by Steph Curry. And I feel like that's like, okay, and we know Durant's having the best game, but
Curry
you
was missing
cannot
everything.
leave Steph Curry open. It's,
Well, who was
Even in his
guarding
worst
him?
game.
you can't
even in his worst
leave
game.
Was
Steph Curry
LeBron
open ever.
guarding Curry that game?
No, it was they said a pick. He was covering. LeBron was covering Durant.
Are you talking
Someone
about
said
last shot?
a weak pick, and LeBron switched to Curry. It was like a weak pick. So everybody's like, oh, why didn't LeBron cover up Durant on that shot?
But most people were saying, why didn't LeBron step up and just D up Durant one-on-one? Once you knew he was having that type of game down the stretch.
Well,
And
he's not
wait,
the coach.
Let's,
so
well,
I
let's
don't
go.
know. Ask
Let's go.
Tyronn
Let's
Lue.
go with what me and you said during the game. It was 7 minutes left. And I'll say it again because it was 7 minutes left in Game 3. It was basically a tie game, and Durant was having a good game, and LeBron was having a good game. And I told my son, this is the time LeBron needs to carry this team to victory. Game 3 at home, I don't care what kind of game Durant had. LeBron needed to get the ball on offense and determine that he was going to go and carry this team to victory. I said it's going to be LeBron versus Durant these last 7 minutes. And unfortunately, LeBron did not step up offensively, and Durant did. He iced him out. He chopped that three-pointer and took him out. Cold-hearted, took that three-pointer, gone. LeBron's problem was before that shot, it was 103-101. 103-101. LeBron had the ball. He was backing up Curry. He had Curry back down. All he had to do was turn around and shoot it. It was an easy point. What did LeBron do? What LeBron does. He passed it. He passed it to
Someone's
Thompson.
stepping up.
He passed it to Thompson, and Thompson missed. The point isn't that Thompson wasn't open. The point is that there's a point in these games where LeBron has to be selfish to say, I'm not passing the ball. Especially in that situation. He can't pass the ball. He has to shoot it. He has to determine to himself, I'm either getting on the line or I'm scoring. And that's where people talk about Jordan and Kobe better than LeBron. It's always at the end of game. And this is why. Because at end of games, those guys aren't passing it. They are saying, I'm shooting this ball, I'm going to score. Their mentality was different at the end of games. LeBron, great players, all-time best, right there with Jordan. But this is where he lacks some of that, I got to carry the team to victory. He did it in the East, right? He did it in the East. Every time in the East, he did it. Unfortunately, in Game 3, where I believe was another critical game, Game 1 and Game 3 were the most critical games. Game 3, he just didn't do that. Thompson missed the shot. Durant came down, hit the 3. Game over. Why? Because I believe LeBron, again, hesitant to take over. He didn't get double teamed. He had Steph backed up. Easy shot. He passed it. Your thoughts, everybody? These guys are speechless.
No, I just zoned out. I just wasn't listening at all because
It's just better.
don't
Not to
care.
talk at this point.
I just don't care.
It's better
about-
not to talk.
If you say Michael Jordan or Kobe, I just zone out because I'm so used to this.
All right, let's take some comments.
I will say this though. I will say this. In LeBron's last 3 finals that he's lost, he's averaged these numbers: 32.3 points per game, 9.8 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 1.6 steals, 1.1 blocks, 4.1 turnovers, and a 57.9%. And these are Michael Jordan's last 3 winning postseasons. This is not just the finals; this is the whole postseason. 31.4 points per game, lower. 6 rebounds a game, lower. 4.1 assists, lower. 1.6 steals, lower.
Even.
0.6 blocks per game, lower. 2.3 turnovers, which is less, so that's better.
He didn't
on
turn
him.
the ball much.
And 54.3%, which is
A little bit lower.
Lower.
Still dominant.
So
the numbers are dominant. Here's what the numbers
so this
say
is
to
what
me.
the numbers say.
Hey, what did they say to
This
you?
is
And I'll
what the
tell you what
numbers
they
say to me. Is that Michael Jordan had it a lot easier with his team in these postseasons that he played.
In the last 3, I will agree because those teams were Golden State-like in terms of that Bulls team that won the last 3 titles can compete with this Golden State team and win. And it's not more because of offense; it's more because of their defense.
Yeah.
See, that's what people don't understand. When people say, and I've seen this, can the Bulls of that era compete with Golden State of this era? I say, yeah, and heck yeah, because of their defense. Not just because they had Jordan,
Depends on
because
which
they
Bulls
were
they're
great
playing.
defense. Well, the last 3 were the best Bulls team because they had Rodman on that team.
Yeah, but if they're playing the rules of the NBA then or the rules of the NBA now, it's
Either
a
way.
completely different game.
But either way, Golden State can compete then, and either way,
Yeah.
Bulls can compete. That's how good the teams are. So it didn't matter the rules; they would still
I
be
feel like
very
it'd be vice
competitive.
versa.
But you bring up the stats. Here's what you saw. You saw LeBron playing phenomenal. Those stats say he played phenomenal. It says Jordan played phenomenal. The difference is, what you forget to talk about, and I bring it up all the time, is all about the wins. Winning matters. Yes, they had good teams. Winning matters.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
This guy
Blow my mind.
This guy thinks that it's all about stats.
I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that when the stats compare, you look at it and you see that why is LeBron not winning these games? Michael Jordan had the same stats.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan had worse stats. Why
You have to
Michael
break it
Jordan?
down.
Why did Michael Jordan win championships and why did LeBron not? Why?
Has a lot more to do up here.
No, come on, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It does.
It has to do with what is around him
No.
and why Michael Jordan's competition in the finals was trash.
Well, go here. Go here.
Milkman.
You say no.
Trash.
He played against plumbers.
Here's where they want to trash who Jordan played in the finals.
Trash. They were garbage.
Here's my point to everybody.
Oh my.
You know why? You know why LeBron even makes the finals? Why does he even make the finals now?
Because he's the GOAT.
Because if Cleveland was in the West, they wouldn't even sniff the West Conference Finals. Because they wouldn't beat Houston,
You think
and
that.
they wouldn't beat Golden State. No, that's the fact.
No, you. Think
That's the
that.
fact.
No, you think that, but he's
Let's
not.
whoa,
West
whoa,
Conference, so we
whoa,
don't know.
wait. Let's talk.
That is you
that.
assuming.
No, not me assuming. Let's talk. Look, Cleveland ended up 4th in the East.
Yep.
In the trash division, 4th. Listen, 4th.
Let me get the
Where
record.
would
Hold on.
they were 4th?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Keep on.
4th in the East.
No, go.
They couldn't, and you said, this is what my boy says, after Cleveland beats Boston, and after Golden State beats Houston 4-3 in 7 games, and he talks about how Harden is here's Harden, the MVP, he couldn't beat Golden State. That's what he says. And I said to him, okay, we're going to see how good Cleveland plays Golden State. You talking about
James Harden, a better team.
You talk about how Harden lost in 7 games to Golden State, and you laugh because we say he's the MVP. I said,
Not the MVP.
okay, now it's time
Not
for
my
your
MVP.
now it's time for your MVP to prove to us how good of an MVP he is when he plays Golden State. He didn't win a game.
Who has a better team?
He didn't win
Hold
again.
on,
No, wait.
No.
This proves.
You want to talk?
This proves again.
It's LeBron
why,
James.
guy.
And who else?
He don't want.
Well,
He
James
Harden
Harden didn't have his second
He
best
don't-
guy. He lost 2 games.
These guys don't want to hear
Back
it.
to back.
They were up.
These guys
I could
don't
have
wanna
swore
hear
they were
it.
up 3-2 in the series. I could have swore. But
These
when,
guys don't
when
wanna
the best
hear
player
it.
on the team got hurt.
The MVP
The second
of the
best player.
league.
No,
The MVP
best.
of the league.
The best apparently.
Won 3 games against Golden State.
He's only talking
And the
to us
MVP
now.
to
He's only
them-
talking to us no more.
Didn't even win. Didn't win 1 game. He quit. He quit in game 4. He quit in the 3rd quarter.
I quit
He
too.
absolutely quit. He quit.
I would quit.
Go ahead. Tell me, did he not quit in
Are you
game
done?
4?
Are you done?
I'll let you talk about that.
Are you done?
Tell the folks that he
Are
quit.
you done? All right. Now let's say this. All right. I remember clearly that the Rockets had some sort of lead in the series until a teammate of James Harden got hurt. Oh, a teammate that if LeBron James had, he probably would have played pretty well with him.
If
But
James
LeBron
had
doesn't
one
have
extra
teammates.
player. One extra player.
But LeBron James
Did
only has
Houston- did
Kevin
Houston-
Love, who
did
scores
Houston
20
lose-
points a game.
Let me ask you
It's
something.
crazy. It's
Did
crazy.
Houston lose by 20-something points at home
Oh
against
no!
Golden State?
Oh no! But
In
just-
Game 7?
who has a better team?
In
The
game
Rockets
7? No,
or-
even
okay,
without Paul. Even without Paul.
Let's
Paul's
take-
not
no, no,
there.
no, let's take Harden and let's take LeBron off the teams.
You talking about teams. Okay.
No,
What was
come
the
on.
score in game 7
Wait, I don't-
with no Paul?
I don't care.
And you tell me the game
I
game 4
I don't
score
care. I want you to answer this
at
question.
Cleveland.
I don't care. I want you to answer this question. If we take James Harden off the Rockets and we take LeBron James off the Cavaliers, which team is better? Do you think?
Oh, with Houston, no doubt.
Oh, okay. So cool.
They proved that.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. And
But
you don't
that-
understand in your
I do
brain
understand.
that LeBron James has no team around him.
Now
of course,
LeBron's
he'll lose
no
by
good.
20 points to a dynasty that has 4 All-Stars, 2 MVPs, and 1 Defensive Player of the Year. What do you think is going to happen? LeBron is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, versus a dynasty. The best dynasty of all time.
Can we get a
They
bias?
are going to be the best team of all time. I promise you, by the time they break up, they're going to be the
They're
best
not
team
gonna
of
win
all
ele-
time.
they're not gonna
They're
win
going to
11
be
titles.
The
That's not
most
gonna happen.
winningest team ever.
They're not gonna win 11
to get Kevin
titles.
Durant on the team.
Go listen to
and to
some
win
history.
back-to-back championships.
They're never
They
going to
are-
pass the Celtics 11
Bro,
titles. That's not going to
The
happen.
Celtics are they're garbage, bro. They were
I think
garbage.
they had 7 Hall of Famers.
Well, let's-
That Celtics team.
Okay,
but
okay.
they-
So,
but
so do you think
that's
they
where they
would
lack
beat,
history and
would,
knowledge.
Would they beat
I'm
the
sorry,
Warriors?
guys.
Would they beat the Warriors?
Do you understand
They
what
would beat
that
the
Celtics
Warriors.
team had?
They would beat the Warriors.
That's the lack of
They
history.
would beat the Warriors.
I'm sorry, guys.
They would beat the Warriors.
I'm sorry. That Celtics team with Russell, that
Oh my
111,
God.
that had, I believe, more than 5 Hall of Famers,
Oh
wouldn't
my
compete.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Come on,
That's
bro.
the lack of
Are you
history.
serious?
That's the lack of disrespect for history.
you
That those
serious?
teams are terrible.
There
You
was
know,
like 4 teams in the NBA.
That the Lakers of the 80s, the
I mean, this
Celtics
year
of the
there was
80s.
two, though.
You know, it's funny that they can't compete with anything with
Bro.
Golden State or LeBron. I don't understand that. That
How
doesn't
many
make, that Jordan
how
and
many
his teams
teams were in
can't
the
compete
NBA
with this
back
team.
then?
What makes you? It doesn't matter. That's how good they were.
How many teams were in the NBA?
It didn't matter. That's why they were stacked.
8.
But that's why they were stacked.
Okay, of course.
But that's what I'm trying to
There
tell
was
you.
8 teams, bro. Like,
But
what do
prove-
you want?
It proves the point.
Bro, I
What does it
promise
prove?
you, if that team played this Warriors team, they would
Who
not
would
win.
stop Russell?
Bro, like
Nobody.
literally, probably
Nobody.
anyone. Probably anyone.
Golden State had nobody.
I can't even chime in because
Golden State had nobody to stop Russell
Me
Wilson.
neither.
Like I can't.
They can't. I never saw Russell, but I know I have enough respect to know that
I
guy's
don't know.
7'2".
I don't know.
And
I'm gonna
was
be honest.
one of the best centers of all time. To say that guy would have been stopped by Golden State, no, I'm
I
sorry.
think if JaVale McGee played back then, he would be a Hall of Famer. Like that's how much
No.
respect I have for that time.
Really?
That
JaVale
time.
No,
McGee.
sorry.
It's like
The only-
it's basically putting. It's
I
basically.
can't. I
It's
can't with
basically.
you.
It's basically.
People are
putting
gonna
the-
lose respect for you if you start
It's basically
talking
putting
like
Babe
that.
Ruth in
No.
the topic of today.
People are gonna lose respect for you saying that. That's embarrassing.
Bro.
Come on, stop.
Bro.
I'm
on,
gonna
man.
take
Just
comments. I'm gonna take. Let me see
This
what
guy.
Let's see what our
Yo, I'm
family
on
is
this
saying.
side most
There's
of
a
the
lot of
time.
comments.
JaVale McGee is a Hall of Famer.
Hold on. That's bad.
1965 or whatever it was.
All right,
JaVale McGee is garbage.
Let me look up Bill Russell a tape. If they record, if they had cameras
Hold
back
on,
then.
hold on. Let me take
If they had
some
cameras back then, let me look it up. Maybe I can give this guy a
There
little
are
more
highlights, some
respect.
highlights.
John Merkley.
Oh my god, this looks so
This is
bad.
shot on
LeBron is a
iPhone
stat
4.
compiler. Nobody is
This is shot on
surprised.
iPhone 4.
Hold
This
on.
looks so bad.
Yes, Mets big. That's 2 years in a row that LeBron has passed up the potential game-winning
Okay.
shot. All right, let's see. Jordan took
Bro, look who he's
and made
playing
the shot
against.
when it mattered. Of course.
Lawyers.
Oh my
LeBron
God.
is not
He's
winning
in
these
the
games.
lawyer league.
Hey, let's
This looks like he's playing YMCA
Let's talk.
basketball.
Let's
And you're
talk.
talking about NBA.
let's talk.
Oh my God, bro. He would.
Wait,
DeAndre Jordan would block him,
Of course, look.
bro.
How many centers dribbled
Oh
the ball
my
back then? None.
What the heck
Hey,
am I
probably not,
watching,
probably
bro?
not.
Bro, look
No,
at this.
because
Look who
nobody
he's
dribbled
playing.
like that.
Look who he's playing. Are you serious? Look at
Yeah.
the shot. Did you see what he just shot?
Did you see what he did?
Oh my God, bro. This is.
Let's listen to what some of these people are saying.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gonna keep watching.
All right, let's see. John Moore, LeBron is not winning these games because he is not helping his team win these games. He is the greatest. That's
Okay,
the
we're gonna
problem.
skip that. Skip
Oh my
that.
God. Okay.
You need to correct. Of course, I know. Stephen Marr, defense. LeBron was not good defensively in the last three. That's a good point. Dr. Walt, Jordan made
Last
the key
game for sure,
right
I
plays in the
remember.
final moments of the finals, and LeBron did not. Case closed. Of course, J. Ham's listening. Merkley, why was Cleveland such a bad team? Answer, LeBron James made it that way. John Merkley, the better argument is LeBron James versus Wilt Chamberlain or LeBron James versus Larry Bird. That's true. Why are the youngsters ignoring the genesis of this bad Cleveland team? I don't know. Stephen
I don't
Marr,
know.
simmer down. J. Ham, if you like a girl and asked her out 8 times and she only accepted 3 times, and another guy asked the same girl 6 times and accepted 6 times, who's the man?
The 8 guy. He's a little more confident. He's a
The
little
eight
more
is a little
confident.
more confident.
He's more confident. He's kept going back.
Good point, Jay. Oh my God, this is funny.
I'm sorry. I cannot. I
Celtics
can't.
won-
Yo, it's not the
Celtics won
Watch Bill
8
Russell
times.
show.
I
It's not.
can't give
Celtics
respect
won
to Bill
8
Russell
titles
as
in a
much
row.
as y'all do.
Let's see. Yeah, Junior needs YouTube some of those teams. Read some books. on them.
I just YouTubed it and it's not.
Russell
that
is
good.
a top 6 all-time player, of course. These guys don't know what they're doing. The Bulls would murder this team. Grisel Stasser, that's true. All-time greats can play at all times. True.
Look, I didn't even have to finish.
You can compare eras, and it was much more physical back then. Way more physical.
Yeah, so much more physical. Dudes weigh
Carlos,
150
yeah, we
pounds,
tripping,
bro.
bro.
You're tripping. Dudes weighed 200. Bro, Bill Russell weighed 180 pounds. Cool. LeBron weighs like 200 something.
The Bulls would murder this team. Yes, we agree.
There was
Hey,
10 NBA teams. There was 10.
Thanks for your comment.
Of course he's gonna win
Let's
championships.
pause here because it got
And
a
he
little
had
heated.
7 Hall of Famers with him. Are you serious?
Did you hear what he just said? He proved
Bro.
our point.
Oh
That-
my God.
My point was
There was
just,
10
my point was
NBA
just
teams.
that you can't just say that this is the greatest team of all time in the Warriors.
I
They're
do,
one of the
I
best.
I do.
But then you can't sit here and say they got 7 Hall of Famers and say, oh, Golden State's the best when they're only gonna have 3.
I mean, when there's
Maybe they got 2.
when
already.
there's only 10 teams, you got 5 people starting per game. That's 50 players. Add what? 5, 10? Add 5, 6 bench players. There's not a lot of players back then.
Who
The
would-
Hall of Fame category probably is
Who-
different from back then to now. The caliber of
We
player.
have too many. We have too many teams.
The
right now.
caliber is probably
Better because you have way too many players right now. You have too many teams right now. That's why a Cleveland Cavs team right now
So you want to see
looks
less
so
teams in the
bad.
NBA?
It would be better if they had less teams. Then you talk about better competition. Oh yeah, think about that. If you took out, I'm not saying taking out a whole lot like
I
back
mean, yeah,
then,
then you can have
but if you took out like 5
no
to
more
10
Orlando,
teams,
no more.
right. If you took out some of the
Charlotte.
bad teams and you put some of those good players on other teams, now you're talking about some serious competition. That's what sports has happened over the years. It has diluted the competition because
More
they've
people
created
able to
more
get in.
teams. Yeah, there's just more teams to play. So you got teams that have one superstar. You have some teams that have no superstars, and they just got a lot of role players. So that's what's happened. Where in that era, all the good players, obviously the great players, were playing on teams, and you have 7 Hall of Famers on one team. That makes no sense.
Look like a bunch
That
of
wouldn't happen.
janitors to
That
me.
wouldn't happen right now. Obviously,
look like a bunch of janitors to me.
James, what's happening? So J-Ham, Jordan went through Indy, Detroit, and New York.
Just got out of
LeBron
law
went
school.
through Toronto. Jay, they don't understand that
Toronto
because
was
they
the
don't
worst
they
team.
don't they don't respect
Toronto was the worst team.
they don't
to play against
respect
this postseason.
enough the Indiana, Detroit, New York team that Jordan played back then because they were the better teams. That was the better division, was the East Coast. That's why when they got to the finals, these guys look at it and go, they didn't play anybody. They didn't because like Golden State.
So you
Golden
agree that
State,
he didn't play nobody?
No.
Thank you.
No,
No, you
here's,
just
here's
said it.
my
No,
point.
you just said it. No,
Here's
okay.
my point. No, I don't agree with what you're saying.
You just said
you
it.
Said
You just said, yeah, I get it.
You said it. I get the
This
point.
segment-
you're-
this segment's gonna have to move on, man.
I get the
You
point
know.
you're trying to make, but here's what I'm saying. Golden State Here's the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals took place in the West.
Y'all have been going at this.
The NBA Finals took place in the West. When Golden State beat Houston, everybody knew. Nobody gave Cleveland a chance. And there's a reason why. We just saw why. Did you give Cleveland a chance? You were trying with all your heart. You were trying to give them a chance. But in your heart, you knew they had no chance.
Yeah.
Nobody gave them a chance. You were going to win $800 for every dollar you bet in Vegas because the odds were that bad against
It
Cleveland.
was 800 to 1 against
I think it was 800 to 1.
I should have bet.
So
$2.
again, these guys, they don't understand a little bit of the history. We've had the ability of watching both. That's why I can talk about Georgia and those teams. I can talk about the caliber of play in this league. The West is so talented. That's why let's go into the next conversation. Where's LeBron going to go?
Yeah.
Because this is going to be this talk of the next few months. Talk about the teams that already have been discussing chances of where he's going. And you guys tell us, what do you think? Where's LeBron going to go? Where's Waldo going?
Well, there was 7 teams. Now it looks like more of 8. There's the Celtics, the 76ers, the Cavaliers, the Heat, and you
Both LA
also
teams.
have just the one, just the
That's
Lakers.
4 East Coast teams.
The Lakers,
Lakers,
the
Houston.
Spurs now are
Spurs.
saying Golden State Warriors
Golden
and
State.
the Houston Rockets.
So 4 in the East, 4 in the West. Carlos, you think Houston? My man here, my boy says he's been talking LA the whole time.
He's going to LA.
It seems
Like
to make the most
Steven, he
sense.
does
There's
Lakers
honestly
team.
no doubt in my mind he's going to LA.
It seems to make the most sense at that point.
Why?
Because he's a big name player. He's obviously going to cost a lot to get him somewhere. LA can afford a player like that. LA can afford 3 players like that.
LA's
So I
building
feel
a
like if they
team,
are going
and
to build a
there's-
team to take down the Warriors, that's where it's going to end up being.
of anywhere, if there's anywhere where he can go and there's going to be enough cap room to sign him and somebody else, it's LA.
Does the players they have now, would they make
Lonzo Ball.
better
Lonzo
role?
Ball.
Would they make
I
better?
love Lonzo. I don't
I'm
know
saying,
if he's
would
the
they
best,
make-
but I love
Would they
Lonzo.
make
They have
better,
Lonzo and they
better
have-
role players than what the
They
Cleveland
have
has
Lonzo
now?
yeah.
and they have Brook
I
Lopez.
think-
and they have a talented coach who, when he coached the Warriors, when Steve Kerr was out, went undefeated.
I think the Lakers are going to need 3 players.
Merkman says Pelicans. They haven't brought that
I didn't
team
even
up.
see that.
There's an
They will
NBA, there's
not.
an NBA team called the Pelicans.
And the Pelicans will not be signing LeBron James.
They're lucky
They
they
don't
still
have
have
enough-
Anthony
According
Davis.
to LeBron James.
According to LeBron. Well, Houston, I think, personally, I think the best team for LeBron, I don't like you. I think if he goes to Houston, it makes, obviously,
Let's just say this.
makes them the
Houston,
favorite.
Chris Paul has said that he's not signing anywhere for less than the max.
Carlos, you hear what he says? Chris Paul is the godfather of LeBron, so we know they have a really good relationship there.
That
But
is
Chris
true.
Paul also
If
said
Chris Paul might
he's
settle
not
if it
signing
means getting LeBron.
unless he gets
No, he
the
said
max
he's not
contract.
signing. He said he's
They didn't
not
ask him. They
signing.
didn't ask him what if LeBron's on your team. Nobody asked. Is Chris
Okay,
Paul, what if he
but
get LeBron?
if he says,
he
I'm
might
not
take
signing
less
anywhere.
if LeBron's on his team.
If
Then
he
he'll get
says,
to the
I'm
finals.
not signing unless I get the max, I think that's his last and final note on that.
Merkman wants to know
I
how
just know
LeBron
he's
do with
talking
the Ball family.
I think it's going to be a big
He's
ball
gonna be
brand.
wearing big baller shoes,
Big
man.
baller.
Big
They're
baller
gonna have
everything.
collaboration.
I like your thought, Dr. Wall. San Antonio, maybe.
I wouldn't rule him out. He does.
I wouldn't
love
say
pop.
trade Leonard for LeBron. I would say
They can't.
Get
because
LeBron.
LeBron is a free agent.
They need both.
Leonard.
I would say get LeBron and help keep Leonard with
Kawhi
LeBron.
Leonard's going to the 76ers.
If Kawhi Leonard goes
They're
to
going to trade. They're going
76ers
to trade Markel Fultz, and they're going to trade first
first
round
round pick, that would be a great trade for the
pick. Maybe a
Sixers.
couple first round picks.
Yeah.
LeBron does love Popovich and everything Popovich has done at the Spurs.
Yeah.
And,
Angel has said it from months ago
He
that
said
he was going to go to the
Spurs.
Spurs, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah, Angel's
still
not here,
don't
but he
think he's
said
going to the
Spurs.
Spurs. But now, Popovich saying that we're going to force a meeting with LeBron if he has to, and so
All right. So Jay Ham, you say Spurs, LeBron, Kawhi, Aldridge, and Redick. So Redick's a free agent from the Sixers, and you think that would be a great add-on, obviously, because he's a shooter.
If he went to the Spurs,
that would make
it
that
would
would
be a
make
good
the
team.
Spurs a hell of a team.
but Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play there anymore. So
But Kawhi does not want to play there. Can LeBron convince him to stay? Because LeBron by himself
he's got a lot of
makes
power.
the Spurs better, but does not make them better than the Golden State Warriors.
what?
Not by himself.
Who? Wait,
If
LeBron
LeBron
by
goes to the
himself.
Spurs without Kawhi,
They're not better than Golden
they're
State.
not better
They're
than
not.
Golden State. If they keep Kawhi, then you got yourself a hell of a team. Because here's why I say
even
that.
with Aldridge and LeBron, yeah, they're probably not.
Yeah,
No, I just think they miss out a little bit. I think Kawhi.
First agreement of the show tonight.
I
right
think
there.
LeBron needs. Here's what I think. LeBron is a point guard mentality, so he needs a team that has a Kawhi Leonard, that has a Harden, who can take some of that pressure of having to score off of him. I think he would blend in super well, kind of like when he was with Miami with Wade. He can still score, but didn't have the pressure of having to score at the end.
Yeah.
Have someone else to help him, because that's his mindset. So if he goes to the 76ers, let's go by teams. If LeBron goes to the 76ers, I don't know if that's the best team for him, because then he takes the ball away from their point guard more often, because LeBron is more like a point guard.
Who cares if Ben Simmons gets less of the ball? It's LeBron
I think the
James.
experience-
Wherever LeBron James goes, he's
Dude,
going to be the
what's
best
up?
team. That's all I have to say.
And J. Ham says the dark horse is Portland. I can't see LeBron in Portland at all.
He's not going to
I don't know. I
Portland.
just don't think.
I heard it's a
There's
terrible.
a-
I heard
there's
it's
a-
a terrible city, so I don't even think
There
he's
is
gonna
8
consider that.
teams. I already listed them. There's 8 teams. That's it. There's only 8. And it was 7 until Spurs stepped up. But right now, there's only 8.
And LeBron
And no one's talking about the Heat.
the Heat. That's a possibility.
But I don't think that's happening. Why would he go back to the Heat?
I think LeBron's not going to go to the 76ers because they're
What
that's
about
not
the
necessarily an
Celtics?
old team, but they're
The
a young
Celtics
team.
are worried that Kyrie's going to leave next year and go to the Knicks.
He's
He
not
would
gonna go
leave if
anywhere.
LeBron went there. He would leave before. He would force his way out. Don't you think? I don't know if he
think
would
so.
stay there if LeBron wanted to come to the Celtics. That's why he left Cleveland. Cleveland was missing Kyrie in these playoffs.
They were.
And it shows big time.
Not in the playoffs
In the finals, of course. Dr. Wall says LeBron might not like San Antonio because he'll have to play some defense.
He'll finally have a great coach.
OB, what's up? Yeah, he definitely would have a great coach.
Which he's
A great
never had.
system. The San Antonio system, I love their system, is as close to Golden State as possible. So if you have the right players, I think that system would be very well for LeBron, because obviously he knows how to play ball. Let's go to LeBron in Houston with Paul and with Harden.
If somehow they make it happen to where LeBron James is there and Chris Paul is there, which is looking like it's never going to happen, and I don't think it will. If it does happen, they are the best team in the NBA. And they will.
They were the best in the regular season
They
and in the playoffs if Paul
won't
didn't
lose
get hurt.
very many games.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't lose many games.
Might lose 0 games.
And I agree with definitely.
He would be
Undefeated
He would be
season.
with a good coach. He would play with a great center. Which in your career, how many times has LeBron
Yeah.
James had a great? Never.
Yeah, Shaq.
What a joke.
The Hall of Famer.
Yeah, when he was like 38 years old.
He was 45.
He weighed 400 pounds at that point. He looked like he is now on the freaking. He was already announcing.
Oh
He
man.
looked like he already retired. But no, he never really played with a great center.
Houston problem is the coach. That's what Merkley says.
What?
I don't necessarily like their system.
The
I mean, it did well for what they had, obviously, but I
It
just
might not
don't
gel
like a lot of
perfectly, but
one-on-one and,
it's not terrible.
That's what they're
and a
best
lot
at.
of shooting. I mean, they're shooting.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
what
of
cost
shooting.
them in that Game 7. All those misses. They shot a record number of. They shot 1 for 29
Combined
Game
or
7.
just Houston?
Houston in the last game against
Yes, sir.
Golden State made 1 of their last 29 3-point attempts. That's insane. That's insanity.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't never heard of anybody missing that many. And think about it, that game was still close at the end.
Yeah. So what about when LeBron goes to the Lakers?
What do you got
If
for
LeBron goes to the
three-point
Lakers.
shots?
7 of 44.
7 of 44 altogether.
If
Houston.
LeBron goes to the Lakers, who's going with him?
Let's see what else
Paul
people are
George.
saying here.
And who? You need an and at the end.
He needs to go somewhere that has a player that's
and
not
Paul
scared
George.
to take the
Not
ball
there
away
to
from
be Golden
LeBron
State.
when it matters. Like
On that Lakers team.
Kyrie.
Lonzo Ball and Brook
Absolutely
Lopez.
agree with that.
I think
Merkley,
they already know.
listen to what the
I
coach
don't
said
hate
before
Julius
the
Randle.
conference finals. We would
Julius
not be
Randle's
judged on this series if
You
they
go
were
to LeBron, he's
losing.
gonna look like
You
an
do not want that kind of coach.
George Hill.
That's true.
George Hill is trash.
They had already claimed their loss. LeBron did and the coach. Dr. Wall, LeBron will never go to Houston because Houston would have to give up half of their team to get him. And remember, they just gave CP3 a lot of money. Salary cap. That's what Joe says. He thinks it'll be a salary
Salary
cap
cap's gonna
problem.
become an issue.
So, how about let's go to if LeBron goes to Golden State. What happens?
I'm not watching basketball next year.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but if that team's been brought up,
He is going.
crazy.
He is going to be going to the Warriors, have that meeting to try to find out what they did to keep all these players.
To get them all.
He's like
He's
he's
using.
he's going in there for secrets. He's not going in there for.
He's just trying to find out
He's
how
gonna
the
interview
salary
them.
cap is the way it is.
So,
How can you
are
afford
you guys
that
gonna
anymore?
sign Kevin Durant or he's gonna sabotage them?
Is he playing for free?
Listen, you trade Kevin Durant and I'll come, but you have to trade him first.
That's the point. So
Get
what
rid of Durant, and then I'll be there.
All right, so the LeBron talk will go on, and that'll be the key, and we'll watch it on ABC when he says, "I'm going to take my talents to." ...
Los Angeles.
Yeah, we'll see.
Going
We'll
to
see.
LA.
LA, he thinks LA. What do you think?
I agree. I think LA is going to be the.
It's gonna be a
Gonna
big.
be the
Ball, it's
power
gonna be a
team.
big baller season.
Yeah,
Big baller.
I think
ball.
I like the way that sounds.
I think there's
I like the
a
way that
better
sounds.
chance of him staying in Cleveland because of his family. That's gonna make a big. That's gonna make a big.
I read
impact.
something that said LeBron's family is the only reason he's going. He said his family would have to plead.
I saw that.
They would have to plead him. That's the only way he's staying in Cleveland. Is his family literally begs him to stay. You know how sad that is for them to be like, "Come on, Bron, don't do it again."
I don't want to leave school again.
That's true.
He's gone.
Gabby thinks, how about Oklahoma City, OKC?
What about him?
Hey,
Was
don't.
that,
I would
would that be a
lose
good
my.
fit?
I am a massive
No.
Oklahoma City fan,
It
and
would
I would
not.
lose my mind if I got LeBron. But it's not gonna happen.
They would
It's
be
not gonna
better.
happen.
They would be better than the Warriors, but
We would be good.
The Pelicans
they would be
too.
better than the Warriors. Pelicans would not be better than the Warriors.
Anthony Davis and him wouldn't be enough because Rajon Rondo is not.
I mean, they have
point
DeMarcus
guard.
Cousins.
Oh, they do have Boogie. I forgot about Boogie because I'll have to see.
It would be close
Those
because
three are
they're
good.
big. They're big men.
Yeah,
Those
they
three are
definitely
good.
outdo the
Do you remember how many
Warriors.
alley
That is a huge.
How many
team.
alley oops LeBron would throw up with those two guys?
That is a
Man.
huge team.
Uncle Hector, what's up? He says he's enjoying the craziness of today's show. Yeah, we get a little crazy when talking about, you know,
The GOAT.
the GOAT,
The
and
GOAT.
LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah, funny.
The GOAT and
Clever
LeBron.
play on words there, Mr. Frank. I like that.
So,
All right, Steve Martin. LeBron should go to a good three-point shooting team that can give him the chance to distribute the ball, take some energy off.
yeah,
one minute.
sure the Warriors.
Oh, so Warriors.
The Warriors is a good fit. he basically he needs some scores on his team because he's a great distributor, and that's basically what I said too. So I do think that I don't think LA is a good fit for him. And I think if he goes to LA,
Images.
it'll be a mistake because
That's
you
like-
still got Houston
that's like
and you still got
quarterfinals and
Golden
stuff.
State,
Oh.
and now if
That's
you're
good
the
images.
third or fourth best team in the West, I'm sorry, you're not making the finals. That's why I don't think he's gonna go to LA. Because I think
he has to play in the conference
I think
finals. So you think he's gonna stay in the East
stay in the
Coast?
East somehow. Somehow, some way he's gonna stay in the East, or he'll go to San Antonio with Kawhi Leonard there. I think
You could
that would
agree
be
though
the
that a
fit.
team is getting made this season. LeBron's gonna make.
Oh yeah, he's
there's
gonna
gotta
make
be
a
another
team. He can go to the Knicks, and now
Whoever-
the Knicks can be
whatever player's
the
gonna be.
favorite in the East. So I mean, that's how
If he
I'd like
goes-
to see
that's how
whoever
bad
goes-
the East is.
Whoever goes to the
Wherever
East
he goes
is
in
the
the
best
East,
team.
they'll be the favorite.
Yeah.
Now the Celtics is getting better, and if
The Celtics are honestly probably the
they're
favorite.
probably the favorite because if Kyrie's healthy, that obviously makes them a better team.
And I always forget his name. The guy that broke his leg.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward
Gordon
come
Hayward, and let's see, Dr. Wall, good team, maybe the Wizards with John Wall, but he probably won't. Yeah, I don't think he wants to be near Trump in D.C.
No, he was not going to.
Yeah,
The
D.C. is
John Wall
Wizards
wants to be
are the most. They're the weirdest team in the league.
The
They
weirdest.
don't
That
know-
is a good word. I was gonna say underrated, but it's not necessarily.
They
that.
don't
They're
want.
just-
They don't know what they want to
They're
do.
not overrated or underrated. They're just awkward.
They're weird.
Now, question before we go into World Cup soccer, did the move that Durant made going to the
Yes.
Golden State Warriors, did that hurt the NBA, which is a topic of conversation on social media? You know, a lot of people mad that Durant got the MVP second time. They feel that Durant's move going to Golden State hurt the NBA and ruined the NBA, some people say. What's your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you my thoughts on it. You're up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals.
Against
You lose
Golden State.
3-1 in the Western Conference. You're up
You're up
3-1,
3-1.
and you lose, and then you go to the team that beat you.
Some people call that
Cupcake.
That would have never happened.
He's the
That
biggest
would've never
cupcake
happened when
I've ever
Jordan's
seen.
playing. That would have never happened. The team that
The
beats you
biggest
is not the
cupcake
team
I've
that
ever
you
seen,
just
ever. The biggest cupcake. I've never seen anything like it. You can compare it to LeBron James' move to the Heat, but it will never ever be LeBron James' move to the Heat. Were the Heat winning championships? Did the Heat win 73?
Yeah.
Did the Heat win 73 games? No, they didn't. They didn't win 73 games.
Mm-hmm.
No. Did LeBron lose to the Heat the year before? No, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't lose to the Heat. This is why Kevin Durant's move to the Warriors is the worst move in history, and it will forever ruin his legacy. He can win 12 championships, and I still will never respect him the same. He will never be in the same boat as LeBron. He will never be in the same boat as Michael Jordan. He will never even be brought in my GOAT conversation.
No,
He
he's
can win
not.
100 championships. I don't even care. I don't
100.
care.
He just raised it from 12 to 100, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't care how many championships he'll win. It's cool for him. At the end of the day, his heart, whatever he wants.
Yeah, whatever he wants to say.
He'll make a lot of money and he'll win. He'll be happy. But at the end of the day, no one is going to respect him in the same boat as LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And
That's his comments on Durant
That's all I gotta
ruining
say
the
about
NBA
that.
and going
You look
to
at-
state.
that's all I have to
What's
say
your
about
opinion?
that.
Dave?
All right, so me being like a basketball fan,
You're an
that I am,
OKC fan too, so you got a lot of bitterness.
He was
on
the
that.
biggest Kevin Durant fan I've ever met before he moved.
Kevin Durant was my
He was
favorite
his
player.
favorite player.
He
But
was
you
my
didn't
favorite
leave
player.
with him?
I couldn't. That's a lot of big beef though. When
So
he
now he's a
left,
big Russell Westbrook fan.
huge Russell Westbrook fan. Why not, right? You know what I'm saying? So someone like me, you know, I don't watch basketball religiously. It's not my favorite sport, but someone that watches basketball, you know, I watch it in the playoffs. I watch my team, something like that. And to see a move like that and see the same team win back-to-back, the same guy win MVP back-to-back, I think it does hurt the NBA because there's people like me that go around and watch, and then they're like, I don't want to watch next year if this is going to be the same thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah. Well, this has been a problem in the NBA for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, having these teams like the Bulls that, you know, won year after year after year. The Celtics and Lakers were there year after year.
Like, where's the
after year.
competition at this point?
Right, right.
Where's,
Right. It does hurt a little bit, but the NBA is getting better. Obviously, with Houston, with the Celtics, the NBA this year was better than the last year, even though we kind of predicted this would be the finals. But Dr. Wall says no, it didn't hurt the NBA. Ray Allen did it when he was with the Celtics. Barkley went to Houston with Pippen, Clyde, and Drexler. It's happened all the time. That was in their older. They were a little bit too old and out of their prime. Pippen and Barkley just couldn't get it
Ray
together.
Allen was in his prime.
Ray Allen, he was
out. Of
he
his
was
prime.
he was on the edge.
Yeah,
coming
you
to the
know,
end.
Yeah,
Coming
but
to
he
the
could
end.
still hit threes in his sleep.
He could always.
I mean, he
hit
won
threes.
LeBron a championship.
He
Well, he
did.
helped LeBron win a championship.
No, I think he
Yeah, he did. He won one for LeBron.
he
So-
cemented one for LeBron.
And that was the end of it. That was his last year, was it? No.
Yeah, no, it was
So,
a great,
no one
unbelievable shot because LeBron missed the shot before that. So
Yeah.
Oh,
he
nice
saved
you point that out.
he saved it.
Freaking joke.
Did
How
you
many
realize
times
that?
did Steve Kerr save Michael Jordan's ass?
It hasn't.
Oh, never.
Hasn't happened. Hasn't happened.
Okay.
Tell me a game 7 that Jordan ever gone to where Kerr had to make a 3-pointer
We're not talking about the finals.
For them to lose.
I promise you, we're not talking.
for
about
them
the
to
finals.
lose.
We're not talking about. The
But don't
finals.
throw stupid
I didn't
comments
know-
We're talking
out.
about we're not talking about the finals. Michael Jordan didn't play nobody in the finals.
I didn't
I don't
know.
care about the finals. Of course, he was going to win the finals.
No, he played competition finals.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
hey, he did.
At
There
the
were
end.
plenty of those games that went to 6 games. It just didn't go 7.
Yeah, the good teams that were out
They
of their
never
prime.
they never went to 7 games.
played a bunch of teams that were
All right,
past their
that's
prime.
all. It wasn't like this year where it was 4-0.
He played a
That
bunch-
goes to show you
he
the
played a bunch of
competition.
teams that were out of their prime.
Goes to show you the competition.
And you have better
Kind of
teams that
retract.
that's
We're kind of
wrong.
retracting our conversation.
No,
once
no, no.
again.
Let's get back on track.
It's funny because you say
Let's
you
go
say
back
look at
to-
the competition. That makes me question the greatness of that Bulls team because they couldn't beat
derailing. You're derailing.
you couldn't beat those teams who were past their prime.
I thought we were talking about where LeBron's going, not he's better.
He's a
We
little
need to
passionate
bring our
about
focus back.
I'm
LeBron.
sorry.
Yeah, let's get back on
I'm
track.
sorry.
Durant,
I'm sorry.
did Durant hurt the NBA? Or
At the end of
ruin
the
it?
day,
Yeah.
You
No,
obviously
because
hate. You obviously hate.
you
it.
don't like the move. It hurts.
But-
It hurts Kevin Durant the most.
But I believe
Cupcake.
LeBron doesn't have 2 championships if he doesn't make the move he made. He would only have 1. He would be 1-8.
You don't know what happens. Like in
He
those
would be
years. You don't know if
1
somebody
and 8.
comes to Cleveland. You don't know if something else happens.
That's true. But again,
Yeah.
he
You
went
can't
somewhere
say
else
oh,
to
he
win.
won't.
What would
You
happen?
can't say he won't.
His,
Because you don't know what would happen.
his move wasn't as bad as Durant's, but it was bad because everybody said, why is LeBron going and why is he creating a super team? Why couldn't he just recruit somebody to come play with Cleveland? Why did he have to? Why couldn't Wade come?
Wade wasn't a free agent.
So
I think one reason
Bosh.
it's looked over is just because LeBron was never 3-1 up in the conference finals, and people do believe that team still could have came back and beat. Me as a fan, I believe could have still beat Golden State, being
For them
3-1
to lose
up.
3
It was
games
kind of
in
a
a row-
choke. It was a choke at the end of the day.
Kinda. It was a choke.
They
It was a
choked.
choke and a half.
It was a choke.
Yeah, they choked. I mean, that's what.
And LeBron never really was. I don't remember. Was he in the finals the year before he left?
Yes, he lost.
And he lost
Yeah.
4-1.
That's why.
Or was
people-
it the year? Or was it that year he lost to the Celtics in the conference finals?
It could be, but
Anyone
see,
knows.
people-
I think it was that year he left. He lost to the Celtics in the conference finals.
yeah. And Merck, you're right. He needs to get
The
that
year
monkey
before he
winning
made
the
the finals.
championship off his back. LeBron
Lost
almost
to
felt
Spurs,
like
I
he
think, or
had.
something.
LeBron almost felt. Mario, what's up? LeBron almost felt he had to leave Cleveland to win a championship. He had the peace of going back to Cleveland, knowing I don't have the pressure of winning a championship like I did before. I want to. If I win one in Cleveland, great. That'll be icing on the cake
Yeah.
because of the pressure he had before. So LeBron leaving
biggest
Cleveland
achievement.
to go in and Mario who just chimed in. I don't know if you're still on, but Mario, the conversation is what you said this week. Durant ruined the NBA. That's what you said. That's what our conversation is right now. Joe agrees with you. He hates it. He can't stand what he did, Durant, and he just has lost all respect for him.
Total
I obviously, I look at it. Other people look at it and say it's a smart move. Look, he's won 2 out of 3. 2 out of 2? Is it 2 out of 2? Yes, 2 out of 2.
2 for 2.
He's 2 for 2. So Mario says Jesus is king. LeBron is still king on the court. That's true, Mario. But he's agreeing with you. You brought this up. And it's obviously a topic of conversation here for us. Durant ruined the NBA. You obviously think so. My boy thinks so. I don't think it ruined it. Obviously made it. You look at Golden State and you're talking about a team that was already the best in the NBA, made them that much better. So did it ruin it? Houston could have stopped them this year if Paul didn't get hurt. So they didn't win this year because of Durant. They won this year because, in my opinion, Chris Paul got hurt for Game 6 and Game 7 because I believe they would have took Golden State out in Game 7.
The year before LeBron left to go to Heat, they lost in the conference semifinals to the Celtics.
Semifinals, so he didn't even make the final, or the conference
Was
finals.
that
They didn't even
the
make the conference.
was
finals.
that the Celtics with Garnett that
That
group?
was the Celtics with
I think
everybody.
that's isn't
Some
that the
people
year
blame.
that-
That's the
Some
year
people
they won the
blame that.
That's the year that they beat the
That-
Lakers,
Some
right?
people blame that team creating a
They
super
say that was
team.
the first one, or
Yeah,
so
because they
say.
proved
At that
that they
time.
won.
Yeah,
At that time, they were a super
Garnett,
team.
Pierce.
But that team, you put that team against the Warriors, and
they probably lose.
it's not close. I don't
I
So
know.
don't know,
Mario,
Garnett was
Mario
bad.
says unless Durant
Right.
pulls a
I agree. I
LeBron and
still
goes
think
back,
I still think
you heard what he says? Unless Durant pulls a LeBron and goes back to the Thunder, then he'll maybe gain some respect. I guess that's the point. But
That's the only thing he could do to make me. No, I still don't like him.
Herb.
If you
Let's
did
put
what
all
LeBron
down
did,
LeBron.
basically.
I still wouldn't like him even if he did that.
Even if he did that.
He's
Well-
just ruined his like legacy.
No, he ain't ruined his legacy. He's won 2 MVP finals and he's got 2
No?
championships.
You don't think he ruined his legacy?
No.
At the end of his career, you don't think people are
No,
going to look
because
back
at the
and
end of
be
the year,
like,
you're going to look back and all you're going to see is championships and rings and MVPs.
I think
That's
people,
what
I think people
if
who
it's
watch
you- if
sports
it's
are
me-
not going to think that.
I'm just telling you, that's
If
what
it's
they're
you
going to
though,
say.
I mean,
Exactly.
do you want a championship? Yeah.
What's the goal?
And he made that decision at the end of the day to say,
What's
I
the
want to win
goal?
a championship.
At the end of the day, what's the goal? Again, winning matters.
Your
And
stats and everything. That's your goal.
KD didn't matter. See, that's the thing about KD that people forget. He didn't care about his stats. He didn't care about winning
Yeah.
MVP of the league. He wanted to win. He saw that was the best way to win. He went there and he's won. So winning is the most important thing. Ask LeBron if he take back all those stats for a win, for a trophy. And he'll tell you in a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, it's still
Okay, but
about
not
winning.
with not if he went to the Warriors. It's
Esteban, what's up? LeBron going to
There's
Houston.
something- there's
He said
something
it 2
about
months
pride.
ago. He still thinks Houston. Yeah, we had that conversation.
Houston's not out.
there's something about
They
pride.
think LA. Angel
LA's
said
just got the money.
Spurs. I think he's staying in the East
LA
somehow.
just got the
somewhere.
money to make it work.
And they got Magic Johnson.
And I think it's going to be good to
Who
see
has
a
the cure to
conference final rather than found the cure.
He has the cure.
He
He's
has it.
cured. He just doesn't tell nobody.
So, what else is there going to be in the offseason for the NBA? What hot topics besides LeBron?
None.
Is there any other free agents?
Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard,
So you got Chris Paul, Kawhi, all three. What if all three of them decided to go make a super team?
Paul George.
Paul George is up there.
What do you think? If three of those guys, or two of them with LeBron, decide to do what LeBron did and go to a team,
I'm
That's what
telling
I'm
you,
saying.
they
It's
are.
gonna
They're
be the
going to
Lakers.
LA.
If they
So
do
you
decide
think-
to make a move like
you
that,
think-
At
they're
least
gonna
two of
be
them
the
are
team.
going
think
to
two
LA.
of them are going
At
to
least
LA?
two of them are going to LA. I know for a fact Paul George is going to LA. I know that one for a fact.
Dr. Wall says Durant's reason to want to go to a true team was he was sick and tired of Westbrook dribbling around, driving, and taking bad shots.
No.
That's not the reason.
That's not the reason.
That's not the reason.
Can you imagine if
Can you
Durant
imagine
and
spitting
Harden?
on, can you imagine spitting on your teammate's face like
Wait,
that?
can you imagine if Durant,
Slapping him in the face,
Durant,
stabbing him in the
wait,
back.
can you imagine if Durant, Harden, and Westbrook still was on OKC?
It wouldn't be the players that they are.
Harden would not be.
Harden wouldn't be the guy he is, I don't think.
Westbrook and
I still think he was developing into that score anyway.
He was getting better.
Yeah, I mean,
and
he
when they
was-
made it to the finals, he was improving.
maybe if they
Yeah.
gave him a chance to
Into
start.
the player that he is now.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
he was a six man.
Yeah.
And he was
He was
comfortable
great-
at that point
he was
being a
great
six man.
six-man too, because he could score a whole.
But I still don't think that team would have turned into the team everybody thinks.
Stephen
it might
Morris
have
thinks
turned
the same thing. He thinks LeBron and Leonard to LA.
into. Leonard. I didn't even
That's
think about that.
that's
man.
huge. If that
And
happened,
Paul
but,
George.
I know
but
Paul
the
George.
Lakers would have to
And Paul
trade
George.
for Leonard, right? Leonard's not a free
Leonard's not a
agent.
free agent. I know for a fact that Paul George is going to LA.
Yeah, he's already come.
That's set in stone.
right. That's
set
a
in
no
stone.
brainer.
He's not going back to OKC.
He loves LA.
Sorry.
right? That's the whole thing
Carmelo
about
Anthony.
LA. Loves LA.
Let's not talk
With
about
Carmelo Anthony, he has a contract.
Let's not take
of,
Carmelo.
Let's not talk
I'm
about.
pretty
that.
sure
Nobody
he
knows
has-
who Carmelo Anthony is.
What, 4 years, 55 some million?
Well, guys,
probably?
let's pause. Thanks again. You're tuning into Family Chats.
That's the first time.
Okay,
I've
see,
Where
paused.
okay,
sports
see, Hoodie Mellow, not
Brings the
Carmelo
family,
Anthony. It's
I think,
different. It's
together.
different.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it much because a lot of arguing and stuff, but it does bring us together for an hour, hour and a half every week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of the show.
We are-
Hit the share button and share with your friends and family.
We got about
We
10
appreciate you
minutes.
jumping on. You guys are part of the family.
That's it? That's all
Love
you-
the
that's all you can
comments
chime
and
in?
jumping
That's how
on.
much you can talk
Mario,
about.
LeBron going to San Antonio if Kawhi leaves. So I think that wouldn't help LeBron. I think he needs to try to figure out a way to keep Kawhi. And
Unless they make an amazing
think
trade
that
that
would be
helps,
a
that gets
phenomenal
Kawhi
team.
out and then brings better talent in. But even then, you see how players play. Like, trade Isaiah Thomas to the Lakers and
because I don't think going
bring
to
in some decent role players that turn into
I don't
trash.
think LeBron. I don't necessarily think LeBron's going again to LA because I think he would have still trouble with Houston and Golden State and how good the West is. So I believe he's either going to go to Houston, that makes them better than Golden State, or he's staying in the East. And you're right, Mario. He needs a better coach, which San Antonio would give him. So I can see him going to San Antonio if Pop figures out a way to keep Kawhi Leonard. This is why I believe Pop wants to talk to LeBron because I think he needs LeBron to convince Kawhi to stay. You think?
He could.
I think Pop
LeBron
knows
LeBron is
Kawhi,
the GOAT, so LeBron can do anything.
and they need him. They need him to keep Kawhi because I think LeBron wouldn't go to the Spurs if Kawhi doesn't stay. So I think he'd have the conversation with Kawhi saying, "If
Listen,
you stay,
we can
I'm
do
coming,
this,
but
yeah.
I'm not going unless you say."
Well,
you
they
stay."
talked when they got Chris Paul back in the day, so LeBron's got the power to do that same thing if he wanted to.
So, Merklin, can Pop agree to play LeBron James system though? No, we'll still be San Antonio. I think LeBron can.
What is the
gel into
LeBron
that
system?
Give him the ball and let him make the decisions.
Sorry.
You know, San Antonio's system is pass the ball and work the ball around like Golden
LeBron will
State.
work within Pop, though, I think.
I think so.
He's got enough respect for him. Pop has
I
earned
think he's
enough
that good of a
respect.
player too.
Yeah.
LeBron is GM, coach, and player. Ain't going to the Spurs.
He's all those things that the Cavs.
He's all
but
those
at the
things that the
Spurs, he would
Cavs.
definitely
That's
only
true.
be a
Sorry, bro.
player.
He would
He's
just be a
leaving.
player in San
He's
Antonio.
gone.
Everything's going through LeBron. That's the system he's talking about.
I mean, even when LeBron went to the Heat, who would have thought?
That
Who
they
would have
lose
thought
to
he
the
was going to
Mavericks?
the Heat? No, who
Oh.
thought he was going to go to the Heat? That's why anything can happen.
It's true. Anything happens is going to be an interesting off season. And
Good to see.
we'll end the NBA conversation. We have anything else to discuss?
Not that I don't have to rant about. Again, so I guess we'll have to
You
end
can
it.
keep going.
Yeah, these guys were not looking forward to this family chat show because
Family chats.
Shats.
because they're
Family
LeBron
chats.
fans.
I gotta put a family chats on the YouTube video. It's gonna be right above our heads right now. Family chats. That's gonna be.
All right, let's go into
the thumbnail. That's a thumbnail for sure.
baseball. Anything? Not yet.
It's
Push
not,
it to next week.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not
getting
anymore.
interesting. Yankees.
Yankees are too good. Red Sox are too good.
Half a game against the
Dodgers are
Red
heating
Sox.
up.
The conversation will be Yankees, Red Sox, and does this system work? Because the Yankees and Red Sox will be the best two teams. They'll probably both have over 100 wins. One of them will have to play the wild card. If that team wins, they play each other before they go to the AL final.
Oh,
That's
really?
insane. Think about that. Until they go into the World Series.
Oh, what? If one of them.
One of them would have to play in the wild card, win the wild card, and then play the Yankees, or they would have to play each other
Even before they get to the.
even before they even
Get to
played
the World
Houston
Series.
or one of those other teams.
That's a shame.
In a 5-game series, not a 7-game. So there will be a whole
It's
lot
a
of
division
angry
series.
Yankee and Red
Yeah.
Sox fans about the system at the end of this year, and it'll be more the team that has to play that wild card.
Do you think that needs to be changed?
I
How would you? You can't change it though.
I think the system. I think the system. Right. I think the system works, but it's true. It makes the division
It
run.
happens all the time.
It makes the division tougher. Right now, it makes the division more valuable in the season. You got to play till the end of the year. You can't put it on cruise control because you have the best record. That's the good part about it. The bad part is if that 100+ win team plays another wild card team that has 89 wins, and that team loses to the 89 team, to the 89 win
in
team,
one game.
there's going to be a lot of people upset about that because it then becomes
That's how it
really
works.
unfair. But it is how it works. So
I think the MLB has a good system.
win the division.
Yeah, it's
The
how it
Yankees
works.
will win by 5 games minimum, says Stephen Morris. I like the way you think. Hey, Abby, how you doing? But baseball, we'll have some good competition, good conversations. The West is getting hotter. The Dodgers are getting hotter. That's tightening up.
But enough of that.
Let me just go over and then we'll go into it. The Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers, that division is heating up. Minnesota and Cleveland starting to play better. And you got Houston, and you got a surprise Seattle Mariners team, not the Angels, Seattle Mariners. After Cano goes out, the Mariners step up and heat it up. Bo bet the Sox will only win 95. Okay.
2018, hell no, I ain't gon' fade you, go paint you. TDE and SOB, we can't lose. Niggas bitch made, that's just something I can relate to. Turned on the gang, that's just something that I can't do. Fall out over a bitch, that's just something that I